I think that the diversity and variety that exists in our country is just incredible. Incredible. I think there are so many interesting stories just waiting to be told from all over India. Competition is good. Friendly, healthy competition makes you be better, makes you rise to the occasion. I love healthy competition.
We have films like, with like a female leading the entire film, like women like taking the power of the entire project. But some beautiful stories being told now about women. So I think there's definitely a change.
मंजरी ने कहा अलग-अलग टाइप की फिल्में बन रही हैं. हम मलयालम फिल्म्स देख रहे हैं, कन्नड़ फिल्म्स देख रहे हैं. वो जो स्टिग्मा था कि तुम ये हो, तुम वो हो, तुम ये नहीं कर सकते, तुम वो नहीं कर सकते.
Hi everyone, welcome to Cinema Express. My name is Shreyas. First of all, congratulations for Pune Highway. I've seen the trailer. It looks really. the trailer doesn't reveal much, which is one thing that I really like.
हम लोग करेंगे वो. उसके लिए हम लोग हैं.
Yeah.
वहाँ से शुरू होगा reveal. मेरे आने तक की कुछ बचेगा ही नहीं.
Yeah. And the only thing that we get to know is that there's friendship, there's murder, and there's some happiness,
Laughter,
feeling of happiness that is going
कौन?
on. That's going on.
खुशी.
Yeah.
What
Gone.
all those three words are? Hasi.
तुम्हारे लिए ट्विटर लेके आऊँगा, तुम्हें बताएगा हर चीज़.
Hasi, dosti, khoon, kaun.
Yeah. And all of that is kind of really like has a musical energy to it in the trailer. But it talks about friendship, and I wanted to sort of begin with that as to how, as people working in the industry, as actors in the industry, friendship has a different meaning. So I wanted to understand from you all, how do you navigate friendship? Because
Bro, इतना यूनिक सवाल पूछा तुमने. First time ये सवाल हमसे किसी ने पूछा है.
because
Thanks.
because it is a space that is deeply collaborative and at the same time it's competitive.
And मुझे खुशी किस बात की है कि आपने क्वेश्चन भी किया और आंसर भी किया.
How? What's the answer?
आपने बोला ना कोलैबोरेटिव और
तो वही तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ, उसमें वो स्पेस में हाउ डू यू नेविगेट फ्रेंडशिप?
ये फेवरेट सवाल है जिम का. इसका जवाब इसको बहुत अच्छा लगता है इसका जवाब देने के लिए. वही आशीष नहीं सॉरी, ये बहुत हम सब में सबसे ज्यादा फ्रेंडली यही है. सो
Jim really does that well. Come on, Jim, go for it.
बट ये जो सवाल है आपको बहुत टाइम लगा होगा ना इसका.
बहुत ज्यादा. जितना आप आंसर करने में लगा रहे हो उससे बहुत.
हाँ सो जिम आप क्या
Friendship.
हाँ.
I love friends.
I love office.
I have friends, quite a few. There are friendships that get struck during a project. There are friendships that endure also on some projects. And then there are other times where you go and you do your work and you come home. Like how most people go to work and do their work and they come home and they have their whole separate lives outside of that. So it depends. There's no hard and fast rule. And as far as collaboration goes, who doesn't love collaboration? I love it. I think this ensemble cast also loves it. I think the setup that Bugs and Rahul created was so loving and so collaborative and so friendly, right from their direction and how they incorporated your ideas and your feedback to how the cinematographer would change things based on tweaks and differences in blocking. Everyone was ready to take the best that was possible from each other. And as far as competition goes, it's a good thing. Competition is good. Friendly, healthy competition makes you be better, makes you rise to the occasion. I love healthy competition. Now, unhealthy competition nobody likes. Then it becomes toxic.
वो डिफरेंट होता है ना, वायलेंट हो जाता है वो.
Then yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen the song? You saw the trailer, the teaser and the
saw the
trailer.
song,
You didn't see
yeah.
the song?
No.
So healthy competition,
Okay.
unhealthy competition.
Okay.
हमारा गाना बाद में आएगा, उनका पहले आएगा.
अच्छा.
Within the structure
इतना
of
तो
the
बता ही
film,
सकते हैं. आया कुछ नहीं है अभी तक के. आएगा.
They
within
tried to create an unhealthy competition,
आपस में.
but they failed.
no, within the context
so
of the
convincing.
film,
Yeah,
within the context of the film, you all do have
yeah, of
some
course.
competition.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Okay, fair enough. I think all of you.
नहीं बट
all
केतकी से
would-
पूछ लो कल
yeah.
थी नहीं है ये सवाल तो मैं जानना चाहता हूँ कि इनकी
Okay.
सोच क्योंकि
How do you feel
ये
about friendships?
इनका मैं जवाब देता हूँ इनका जवाब तो हमें पता है ये बहुत फ्रेंडली हैं इनकी पूरी दुनिया में फ्रेंड्स हैं पहले इंटरव्यू में दूसरे में कि कभी कभी मुझे अकेले रहना अच्छा लगता है और रात का जो अगर आप यही सवाल रात को पूछेंगे मुझे कोई पसंद नहीं है आई लाइक बीइंग अलोन
But that's how it's with everybody. Like, you know, you like your me time also,
Yeah.
you like being with your friends
एंड
also.
एंड आई लव कि वो
Sometimes you just
जस्टिफिकेशन
don't
भी
want to
देती
disturb
हैं उसके
anybody.
बाद
हाँ?
जी नहीं आप दीजिए जस्टिफिकेशन
नहीं, मैं नहीं दूंगी.
केतकी
Ketki.
आपको अच्छा जवाब मिलेगा
I think it's impossible without friends, no? I mean, to live life and to achieve what you want to achieve, to cry.
और आप तो अपने फ्रेंड्स को छोड़ देते हो अपने काम के लिए
No, that time was needed.
I know. That was a very cute and heartfelt story. It was.
Yeah.
It was. It was.
I think after family, friends are the one you can go to and cry and be yourself and can show any side of yours. So it's without friends there is nothing.
I think friends और non friends में इतना ही फर्क है. Friends जो है बर्दाश्त कर लेता है. आम जनता बर्दाश्त नहीं करती. जो जिसको ज़्यादा बर्दाश्त कर लेता है. And I think love also has that. The more you tolerate. And one of the aspects, the core aspects of Pune Highway, our film also is it's very predominantly heavy on these group of friends, the characters that we play, and जैसे कभी-कभी जीवन में होता है कि सब कुछ अच्छा चल रहा होता है और एक कहीं एक जगह एक छोटी सी चिंगारी होती है, which lights up the whole jungle or the whole forest. So वैसे ही हमारी फिल्म में एक बचपन की कहानी है, एक छत की कहानी है, and एक हादसा, एक घटना, एक मर्डर कहीं होता है, and how that kind of comes into their lives and turns everything around. So friendship is a big aspect of our film.
Right. And as actors, I wanted to ask you, whenever a film releases, like I face this whenever I see my videos, I sometimes cringe, sometimes feel ki, okay, whatever I said, how there is that pause is really awkward. Do you, when you look at yourself in the screen, what's your post-film release hygiene like? Do you take back things to rework on? Do you say ki, okay, I could have done it differently, but I cannot do anything now? So what is that like for each one of you?
मैं तो अभी देखूंगा इतनी ये पिक्चर कितने लोगों ने देखी.
Okay.
मैं तो उनका रिएक्शन पाया. Right now for me the most important thing is and I really hope it happens that people come to watch us, people come to watch our film. So right now it's not about me. I hope it's about, and I hope they do all this. They smile, they laugh, they do this, they do that, and if they do all that, then I think the movie is in a safe spot.
But you don't take anything from your own
Manjiri takes a lot from her characters.
Okay.
It's true. आपने तो बोला था लास्ट में. आपने बोला बाबू. मैं तो just repeat कर रहा हूँ कि my roles and me and.
Your question basically means what, like when you watched your own film for the first time, what is it that you take back?
Every film that you watch of yourself,
Okay.
what's your like
My first reaction.
first reaction, or do you learn something from it to
No,
do something better?
First time, exactly. First time when I watched the film, I'm only watching myself. In
ये
all
भाई, ये
honesty.
नहीं
In all
सीखती, ये
honesty.
सिखाती है कैरेक्टर को अपने.
Okay, quiet. I only watch myself, and I hate myself. I'm so angry with myself. I'll go back home and I'll cry and everything. Then I'll watch the film a second time. I'm like, okay, I'm not bad. And third time I'll watch it, I love
fantastic.
myself.
I would like to bring it to your attention, friends, that she watches nothing else. That's why whenever you ask about a film of hers or उसको अपने अलावा कुछ दिखता है कि मैं वही बोल रहा था, खुद मुंह से बोल दिया अभी. अपने अलावा इनको कुछ नहीं दिखता.
No, but I love myself only when I watch it. Only when
The third time.
When I watch it as a film, when I'm watching everybody, then I'm like, okay, not bad.
क्या अपने आप को देख चुकी हो ना? So very good.
I am similar in that way.
Okay.
The first watch, I'm like, oh, too long a pause. Oh, what's going on there? Why
Okay.
did I say it like that? Oh, this could have been. Oh, this could have been. Oh, that could have been. And then sometimes also you watch and you're like, oh, hey. I feel it. I feel what he's feeling. I remember that. I remember that
blush.
day. Yeah. And then sometimes you go back and you remember the circumstances and you remember, that day that happened. that's why I didn't do this, or that's why I did do this, you know. But none of that matters. All that matters is how you're coming across on the screen, right? No one cares about the backstory. No one cares about how special that moment was, or the fact that you had received some bad news that day, or no one gives a shit about any of that. Which is always the power of the editor, right? Because when you're shooting, sometimes you get caught up in the moment that is created on set and the feeling that is there on set, whereas an editor comes in, no backstory, doesn't know how special that day was for everybody, you know, just sees it coldly in terms of what is this doing for the film, how is it going to move the story forward, what is the best performance I can cut out of this. So I really think editors have the most incredible and difficult job.
Has it ever happened that you didn't like something but someone told you that's a really nice scene?
So many times it's subjective.
Yeah.
It's so subjective. There are absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even
I think it's same with me also. Like, I like to go alone where nobody is seeing me and I can see everyone who is watching it. But every time, I don't like my sound when on speakers.
Okay.
I'm like, यार किसी और से डब करवा लेते शायद. So that also sometimes I feel like I don't like to listen to myself. But that happens, and very rarely it happens that I feel like okay, I have done this nice. I think
So
You
एक
do
बात
have a good
तो
voice.
हाँ
You have a good voice.
एक बात तो तय है कि पुणे हाईवे में कोई भी एक्टर एक दूसरे की तारीफ कर नहीं रहा होगा क्योंकि उसने किसी और को देखा ही नहीं.
No. But I really no. I only watched it, right? So I loved it. I mean the overall. And
तुमने अपने से फुर्सत नहीं मिली होगी तो.
नहीं. I looked at myself also, and I was looking at the whole picture, and then I was like, यार इसने तो इतना मस्त किया, मैं कुछ
So that was also about you, you were making comparisons with yourself. That was also about you only.
Yeah, no, but of course you have to improve, no?
Oh, that's true. You have a point. I'm just making a laugh.
And then I was looking at there, and then I was looking behind at the audience.
You were telling
If
देखो
we make-
कि मैं कितनी
हाँ
अच्छी
कि
हूँ.
हंस रहे हो ना सब लोग.
And there's something which I think someone said in a video recently that they prefer to watch films with an audience, their own films, because it sort of makes them realize that the moments which they thought were funny, which they thought were emotional, were not necessarily that way. But the audience reacts to something absolutely random. So when that is happening, how do you as performers know what to emote and how people will feel, or does that like never cross you while acting?
No,
anyone.
I think when you're acting, you're not thinking about how an audience is going to react
Will
to a
take
particular moment. You're in the moment. You're just being true to your moment as the character you're playing. So I think, I mean,
Also, when you're making or acting, it's orchestrated. It's determined with the script, director, lighting. It's of course we may wait for magic moments or something extra to happen, but it's pretty much orchestrated in terms of the storytelling and the narrative the director has decided. So so you're moving parts through emotion and body.
Yeah.
There's an emphasis given to actors of how much they feel things, and how much they feel they're in the moment. And that is important. But I have had the distinct circumstances where I've gone on stage and I've felt every moment, and I've left the stage thinking, oh my God, the director is going to come to me, he's going to shake my hand, he's going to say, this is the best version of the play I've ever experienced in my life. And instead the director comes over and is like, why are you ruining my play? Why are you destroying my play? What happened today? What happened? And you're like, what? I given my all. And there are other days where you think you're dead. You're not feeling anything. You're going through the motions because some reason that day it has not sparked the thing inside of you. There is we like to talk about things in cut and dry terms, but there is this magic that can happen, and that magic has not happened for you internally that day. But you've hit all the marks. You've hit it bang on because you went back to a muscle memory of a rehearsal because you weren't feeling it. So then you went back to what you know works, what you've already done, and the director will come to you and be like, the best show you've ever done was today. And it's like, fuck, I mean, if I can be that off with my understanding of what I thought was happening versus what was actually happening, means it's wildly subjective, one.
Yeah.
And two, it also means that this emphasis on the what I felt inside is sometimes like not necessary. There's a great story of this playwright, this actor, very famous Japanese actor, who in the end of his career, so he's already like a huge star and he's doing a theater production, and in the whole production he's dressed like a woman and is wearing the makeup of a woman. And he's looking into a mirror, and it's one of the final moments of the play. He finishes removing his makeup and he turns to the audience, and it's the first time they're seeing the person without any of the makeup on. And people have talked about it like, wow, oh my God, the power in that look when you turn to the audience, it sends shockwaves through everyone. People in the back row of a 1,400 seater are like, oh my God, how did he achieve this look? What an incredible look. And they asked him, so what were you thinking? What are you feeling in that moment? And he's saying, I do this. Last bit of makeup off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
And nothing.
Not thinking anything.
Yeah.
The power in the moment is because of the playwright and the director and his performance up until that point.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to feel anything if he does it correctly. If all of those other parts have worked correctly, he doesn't need to feel anything. He can. That's his choice.
I've done this though in close-ups.
You know?
Many times.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4 night, and then Amit, what are you thinking? I said, bro, I went like back in the days, that. अरे बकवास करो यार, 1, 2, 3 कर रहा था. मुझे लगा जरूरत नहीं इतना तुमने what's that? It's the favorite lens of mine, that long lens, Optimo, no? Well, so this lens, it goes into your soul. So I had a similar incident of good acting and bad acting. Like, that hat drop moment. So in my acting school, really early days, a really very big acting coach, his name is Robert Elliman. Like, he's really done a lot of work and had a great impact on me. So first day, he talked about method acting class and this will happen, that happen. And so he said, okay, you have a monologue, blah, blah, blah. So let's discover acting, blah, blah, blah. So I, as an enthu, come from India and I want to act, I want to learn, tell me, And it was the first time I was getting exposed to Peter Schaffer, to, Death of a Salesman. And that was like, a new world was opening for me. And I go on the stage, I had done my monologue and I cracked it up. I had just finished TV also, so we had this tendency of television at that time to be, like, and I put everything in something and the whole class clapped for me. I was like, dude, you to aati hai acting, so itna taali bar hai. He said, well, great, Amit, good job, we appreciate your effort. So that was what do you think, what was that? Somebody said, intense, somebody said, oh, great acting. Well, lad, you can go sit back. The perfect example of bad acting. And that was my second day, first acting method acting. And I shattered and I was like, okay, I will never tell them that I have acted for a few years in television. All of a sudden, my resume changed within. And of course, then a new journey started.
Yeah. But it's interesting what you two of you are saying, and this I think is more pertinent to play acting. But what?
I don't think so.
How do you think there is a difference in process of how you approach acting for both these?
It's a question of volume sometimes. If you're in a small black box, then no, you don't. You can do the exact same acting you would do in a film. People will see it. Like how I can see what's happening with that gentleman all the way in the back of the room. He's sleepy, he's bored, he's tired, he just yawned, he rubbed his face. And I can read it. He's now smoking slightly because he knows I'm talking about it. I can see all of it. So it's similar in a black box, right? However, if you're playing to a 1,400 or a 2,000 seater and there's people all the way in the back, then, if in a close-up you can just do, that much to indicate that you're confused in the moment. And here you'd have to do, let's say,
bigger
It's just a
gestures.
question of the volume based on the frame. But if the frame is an extreme wide, then you can't do this, na? It's the same thing. You will have to do this. It's the same. It's the question of the frame. So if the frame is this close, then doing this and all will look obscene.
True.
But if the frame is huge, wide, and you're off in the distance, and
Then
you
you
have to
might have to
indicate
sell
that
it.
you're confused,
You have to sell
may
it.
have to do it a little bit bigger.
Yeah.
And does
That's
the
all
cut,
it is.
Does
Huh?
the cut ever break your continuity? Like, while in a film, like a play goes on for an hour or two, but in film it's like cut. अभी ये angle से वापस बोलो.
But you're ready for that design. You know what I mean? And again, there are directors, there are scenes. Like I remember a Kaipoche incident, and I had gone too deep in. There's a scene where Mama मुझे तिलक लगाते हैं, मैं बहुत रो रहा हूँ. And it was an in-between shot where I've cried all night. And I did cry all night. You know? And I wanted to do it. I wanted to approach it like that. You know, I was aching for a movie and I had to do it. So I was just trying everything. And it was just so amazing and so incredible that I went and I knew that I have to go early morning 7 बजे एक कमरे में और मुझे एक जगह जाके बैठना है और मैं बैठ गया हूँ डायरेक्टर और DOP आएंगे लाइटिंग करेंगे and I think they saw this energy, they saw me in this state. They told लाइटमैन कि आप लाइटमैन जितने थे हमारे वो आप ऊपर मत आओ. Director and Anay Goswami, my DOP, they did the lighting. They were talking in hush hush, and that some way also took me off, and I was happy that they're doing this. कि यार ये बड़े प्यारे लोग हैं यार, ये मेरे को मेरा मजाक नहीं उड़ा रहे, you know, ये नहीं कह रहे उठो, ये they are encouraging me कि तुम करो जो कर रहे हो. And they इन्होंने लाइट वाइट सेट किया और सब कुछ किया, and then मैं हिला नहीं मैं, and then Gattu comes to me and he whispers in my ear, and I will love him for the rest of my life. He says, Babu, we are ready, and tu kar le jo karna hai. And we did. There were some close-ups, and then even Manav Kaul, who plays my mama, he also comes. He comes in his role, no talking, nothing, and he just puts the tilak, and he goes, and they stay. We did this scene. I don't even know when this scene happened. I was in I don't even know at that time, theatre, stage, acting. I didn't know. I was in some land. I mean, of course, I was aware that shooting is happening. And then Gattu comes again. बहुत अच्छा था बेटा, बहुत, it was very good, Amit, I love you. Babu, you go. And I remember, I think Imran bhai was called up कि इसको ले जाओ. You know, I was crying only. He was okay, चला गया. Of course, it sinks in. It was a great experience.
Yeah.
Gattu in the evening, sir, the whole crew met me next day. Sir, बहुत अच्छा लगा, but अच्छा नहीं लगता आपको ऐसा देख के. Different dimensions change. You know, and I think that's why we're in, and every day is a different experience. Every day something new happens.
Fair.
And also,
Lovely.
Regarding this cut thing, what kind of connection you have with your DOP, cinematographer? Because most of the time I realize that if your equation with the DOP is good, even after cut, he will keep rolling for some time.
Yeah.
Really?
Where after the cut you find that movement
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
yours, and that helps.
Interesting.
I always feel that once a director says cut, it's a cut. Or
My acting teachers have always taught me this, like
no, for actors,
even
yes.
after they say cut, you stay in the moment for 5 more seconds and then you break out of the moment. So
But cut does kind of take you out when they shout cut. That's another. That'll be a grievances panel. We are on a Pune Highway panel, so let's stay on the Pune Highway panel.
Coming to you, Ketki, you've worked in various languages: Malayalam, Telugu, Marathi, Hindi.
She's the senior most.
And something that I'm really curious about is when actors who don't know a particular language do an entire film and say the dialogues and also have a lot of emotions into them. So what goes into like making it sound authentic, especially bringing out that emotion in a language which you don't speak?
Mostly in Malayalam, I have really good connections with the directors or the team in general. So I prefer to go a little bit ahead, before the shoot, like 10-15 days before the shoot, so that I can understand the body language of the character, where she lives. And even like in Maharashtra, if we go from one place to another, Satara has a different accent, Akola has a different accent. So there also they have a different accent, and they also sometimes don't understand Malabari Malayalam and Trishur Malayalam. It is a little difficult.
Different, yeah.
Sometimes it's like a melody, like Nenakka Rupani unnu mille, something like this. Or in some like Kochi and all, like Nunakka Rupani unnu mille. Like it's like literally on your face.
Okay.
So it's like a learning a song when you learn a new language. So it's a fun thing for me, and also mostly it's not very commercial, professional atmosphere. It's more like a family environment that you go there. It's like a workshop, and you all are working together, and you're helping each other to understand, because it's a new language. Again, it's a new culture, new food, new people. Their mentality is different. Everything is new for you. So you are just like that kid in a first standard, like new school.
Yeah.
So I feel like that, and I enjoy that.
Lovely.
Yeah.
Manjiri, coming to you, you've been in the industry for I think the past 20 years.
Yeah.
25.
More than 20 years. More than 20 years. Definitely.
अरे 20 साल 25 साल हो गए ना जो
No, yeah.
जाने
More
तू-
than 20 years, if we can say.
You're so polite. I wish I was
so,
like you.
So when earlier films sort of did not have very well written female characters,
Yeah.
and over the years it has kind of changed, but there's still a long way to go. Coming through all those years and now still acting in films, have you seen any change happening in terms of how female characters were written before and now? Where is there something that is there more nuance to female
Yes,
characters?
definitely. I mean, we have seen the trend changing over the years, where now we have films like, with like a female leading the entire film, like women like taking the power of the entire project. But there's some beautiful stories being told now about women. So I think there's definitely a change, for sure. I mean, like even through my career, from the beginning, the kind of roles that I was being offered to now the roles that I'm getting has really like shifted for the better. I'm getting more performance-oriented layered roles today than I did before. Like earlier, it was just about pretty girl next door, girlfriend, wife, ye, wo, blah, blah, blah. But now there's much more to my characters that I'm playing, and I'm enjoying that a lot. So yes, definitely it has changed.
Lovely. Amit, even you have been in the industry for more than
You
25
can say
years.
45 years, you can say. No stress.
So,
I'm coloring my grays.
as you said earlier, you worked in television, you worked in plays, you worked in films.
हर जगह try कर रहा हूँ.
And,
कहीं तो निकलेगी.
So, पहले जो तरीका था काम करने का, it has also changed. Stories have changed. How people look at films has changed. Attention span has changed. The way we look at films. Do you see any change in how the working on a set is like today compared
मैं
to?
इतना बड़ा थेरेपिस्ट नहीं हूँ. बहुत सरल जीवन जीता हूँ. I feel dimensions, dynamics, तरीका, तौर, थोड़ा बदलाव आता है और पॉजिटिव बदलाव आता है. And definitely I think at least for me, the kind of movies I've done and the people I've worked with have had a very profound and positive effect on me. And I would like to talk about my team in Pune Highway. It's been a wonderful experience making this film. So अच्छा है, सब अच्छा है, सब अच्छा ही है बाबू.
Okay,
बेटा,
okay.
बहुत अच्छा है, सब अच्छा है.
Okay.
And I think अभी हम तवज्जो भी बहुत देते हैं. जैसे मंजरी ने कहा, अलग अलग टाइप की फिल्में बन रही हैं. हम मलयालम फिल्म्स देख रहे हैं, हम कन्नड़ फिल्म्स देख रहे हैं. वो जो स्टिग्मा था कि तुम ये हो, तुम वो हो, तुम ये नहीं कर सकते, तुम वो नहीं कर सकते, डिमिनिश हो रहा है. And I think that will make artists and people who want to make good movies and do good work, it will make them smile.
Yeah.
It's the start of it, and this will continue.
Yeah. Lastly, just Jim, I had one question for you. You recently were executive producer on a Bengali film, Baksho Bondi, and similarly, a Marathi film went to Sundance and won the grand prize. All You Imagine was also like a Malayalam film in that regards. So there are these regional films that are making space these days, but mainstream Hindi films have been struggling, so to say. People say that there's a content slump that is happening. What are your thoughts on all of that?
I don't know about my thoughts in general, But I think that the diversity and variety that exists in our country is just incredible. Incredible. I think there are so many interesting stories just waiting to be told from all over India. And actually, I love that there's such beautiful cultural variety everywhere. And within that cultural variety, these like gems. You know? Sabarbonda is a beautiful, beautiful film. It's about a guy who, his father dies, he's living in Bombay, and he goes back to his gaon to do the 10-day mourning ritual. And Baksho Bondi is also lovely. It's about a woman who is trying to keep her family together because her husband has PTSD, he's a war veteran. And she's been cast as a caregiver when she married for love. She married well below her socioeconomic status. So she has been rejected by her family, and she's rejected by the people who live around her as well because they think she's too snooty for that area. And so she's in this odd situation where she's followed her heart in this way, and now she's having to be a caregiver, as is her son. She's struggling to keep everything together, you know, keep it together. I think the more we explore these kinds of stories and stories from all over India, I think the happier we will all be.
And better as an industry.
I don't know about better as an industry. So I don't think that it's a question of better or worse for the industry. The fact of the matter is, for me it is you should be part of or you should try to be part of, or you should try to help films that you want to see. So this is something that I want to see. So I want to help be a part of it. It's just that simple.
Lovely. On that note, thank you so much
Thank you.
for this
Thank
पुणे हाईवे के बारे
conversation.
में भी कोई सवाल
पूछे मैंने शुरुआत में शुरू
16
से किया था
16th में
फ्रेंडशिप के ऊपर मैंने पूछा था you were like
Pune
क्या?
Highway.
So, but ठीक है, no problem. Thank you so much for this conversation and I wish you all the best.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.